Hello guys, again. Uh, in this opportunity, we're going to be talking about simple past. So this is the explanation a teacher prepared. Let's go over it and let's review it. Let's check it. Let's study it. I think we saw simple past last book, like the last units. Was it? I don't remember very well, but was it unit 15? I think it was unit 15, right? Simple past in last book. So we're going to be talking about that here with more detail. And besides this document, I'm going to be adding more information to it. Okay? So let's talk about it. Simple past. What is simple past? First of all, simple past is a grammatical tense, a verbal tense, a grammatical tense used to talk about experience that started in the past and concluded in the past, like finished in the past. Let's change some vocabulary here. And finished in the past, okay? They started in the past and finished in the past. Keep that in your mind, don't let it go. That is very, very, very important. They started in the past and they finished in the past, okay? So this is gonna be there, here. No, you can stay. Actions that started and finished in the past. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there because we're gonna be seeing that. And that is very, very, very important for you. Actions that started and finished in the past. So that's simple past for. That's like the main use. Let me put it here. So if someone asks you, it says use, oh, actions that started and finished in the past, teacher. Okay, actions that started and finished in the past, very simple. So, for example, Jessica cooked yesterday. Jessica cooked yesterday. They went to the movies. Marcos studied all night. Marcos studied all night. So these are three examples of activities that happened yesterday. They started yesterday and they finished yesterday. Okay? They started and finished yesterday. So that's how you should look at it. Jessica cooked yesterday. She started cooking and she finished yesterday. They went to the movies. They went to the movies at 8 and they came back at 11 or 10. Okay? Marcos studied all night. So Marcos studied all night. He studied all night. So he finished before tomorrow, before today. So that's what it means. Simply that. Now, Cook went and studied are the actions or events that started in the past and finished in the past. Again, let's change the word concluded to finished in the past. They are completed actions. Very important for you. Completed. This is the keyword, okay? Completed action. An action that is complete is an action that started and finished, okay? So it's an action that is complete. So here, it says that you're going to answer through chat or any sort of a way, or WhatsApp, but I prefer the chat. So comprehension questions about simple past applications and use. Okay, before we go into the questions, let's add another use here. Okay, this is another use. We're gonna have each use like this. Like that. So first, actions that started and finished in the past. Another, series of actions that happen one immediately after the other. Example, she made breakfast and went to work. So this action, made breakfast and went to work, once happens immediately after the other, okay? So she made breakfast, she finished, and she went to work. So those actions are connected by the time, like one finishes and then the other starts and finishes as well. So those actions happen one after the other. So that's what we refer when we say a series of actions that happen one immediately after the other. You can have more examples and more actions as well. You can say, for example, she woke up and took a shower, and then she brushed her teeth, and then she dressed up, and then she made breakfast, and then she went to work. So all of those actions are a series of actions, and they are all in simple past. We express them all in simple past, okay? That's what we use, simple past, for a series of actions that happen one immediately after the other. Cool. So another use the simple past has, or another important thing, well, not a specific time. It's, how do you say it? It's when, well, the time of the actions is stated or known. What is that? The time when the action happened is stated, like it is mentioned in the conversation, or is known, like both people in the conversation know when that happens. For example, I washed my car yesterday. Well, in this sentence, I washed my car yesterday. In this sentence, the time expression is yesterday. So in this sentence, the time expression is stated. Okay, let me give a different color to this one so you can understand it better. No, that color is so ugly. It's for the picture. And here, so here the time expression is stated because I mentioned that. Okay, it is mentioned. Stated is like mentioned. Now, in this other example, we went to the beach and enjoyed the waves. In this example, I don't have time expression, okay? But imagine this is a conversation. And in this conversation, we got one person. Person A says, what did you do last weekend, Robert? Just for example. And this person says, hey, I don't want to have spaces between them. Can I eliminate that? No, here. Yes. This one? Yeah, there you go. So what did you do last weekend? We went to the beach and enjoyed the waves. Okay, let's change this because you might be confused. And ate shrimps. We went to the beach and ate shrimps. So what happened? In this sentence, remember all of this can happen in a conversation, okay? Not just like sentences like that. It's because they are in a conversation. So, what did you do last weekend? We went to the beach and ate shrimps, period. So what happens with this conversation? This sentence, sorry. This sentence doesn't have a time expression, but it doesn't have a time expression because it's not necessary. The time expression was used by the other person. What did you do last weekend? So this person is using this time expression, but that time expression is none. It's not mentioned or stated, no, okay? It's none, because they both know what they're talking about. This person knows that it's about last weekend, but he doesn't want to repeat that. He doesn't have to repeat it because they both know what they are talking about. So in this case, none is when they know, but they don't mention it, okay? So I went to the beach and ate shrimps last weekend, okay? I don't have to mention that because this person says, what did you do last weekend? So since the time expression is already mentioned there, was already mentioned before, I don't have to repeat it. And I just answer my question with the actions, okay? With the plain answer, with the plain actions. I went to the beach and ate shrimps. So this is, in this sentence, the time expression is none. It's none, okay? Cool. Let's continue. So these are the uses of the simple present, the simple past. Actions that started in the past and finished in the past. Well, actually, this is kind of crazy. Actions that started and finished in the past, completed actions, we call them completed actions. Series of actions that happen one immediately after the other, like she made breakfast and went to work. And this is something important. This is a note. The time of the actions is stated or none. All the time. It's never or none, okay? I washed my car yesterday. Here, the time is mentioned. Now, what did you do last weekend? We went to the beach and ate shrimps. Here, I don't mention the time, but it's none because the person mentioned the time before. Okay? Since you notice that this is a question in simple past, this is a question in simple past and it has the time expression. Cool. Good. Let's continue. Now, we had some examples. We read these. Now, let's go over the questions. Comprehension questions about simple past applications and use, about the use. So, the simple past, does it have any connection to the future? Does the simple past have any connection to the future? Write your answers in the chat and let me see. Guys, microphone. Guys, microphone. So write in the chat. Guys, does the simple past have any connection to the future? That's the question. Answer that in the chat. According to the explanation that I just gave you of the use, what do you think? So Lewander is the only person that can speak or write. So guys, no. The answer is no. The simple past doesn't have any connection to the future. So the answer is no, it doesn't. Does it have any connection to the present? The simple past. Another is no. It doesn't have any connection to the present. Remember that these are the uses of the simple past. Action that started and finished in the past. Series of actions that happened one immediately after the other in the past. Okay? And the time of the actions is stated or none. So last weekend, yesterday. So it doesn't have any connection to that. Another question. Is the simple past a continuous event? Is the simple past a continuous event? No, it's not a continuous event. It says that it starts and finished in the past. It started and finished in the past. So it's not a continuous event. So all the answers to these questions are no. Now, contrasting simple present with simple past. In the simple present, we say I go to work. In the simple past, we say I went to work. So as you can see, the structure is similar. Okay, in the simple tenses, simple past and simple present, the structure is similar. We have the subject, verb, complement. Subject, verb, complement. Okay, in the affirmative. So it is pretty much the same. So I go to work, I went to work. What is the difference? In those two sentences, what is the difference? The verb. The verb is the difference. If you notice, the verb in the simple present is in the basic form, in the base form, and in the simple past, the verb is in the past form, in the past form. Okay? So go, went. Now, in negative. In negative, Michael doesn't eat. Michael didn't eat. What is the difference? The auxiliary. Very good. The auxiliary is different. In present, we have doesn't, but in past, we have didn't. In present, we have don't, but in past, we have didn't, okay? Or did not. So the auxiliary here is the difference. Another, in this question, yes or no questions now. Do they understand? Did they understand? What is the difference? The simple present and the simple past. The auxiliary again. The difference is the auxiliary again. So we have do in the simple present, but we have did for the simple past. So that is how we do it. You see, that's the difference between them. That's the structure of the simple past. And WH question, where does Frank live? Where did Frank live? What is the difference? Again, the same auxiliary. So you see, all you have to change in negative and questions is the auxiliary. We don't change any other thing in negative and in questions. Only and only in the affirmative, we change the verb. Okay? Only in the affirmative, we change the verb. So let's put affirmative, negative, question, question. So if you notice, in the only one where we changed, in the only one that we change the verb is in the affirmative. We don't change the verb in any of the others. The verb doesn't change. Okay, what changes is the auxiliary. The auxiliary absorbs the past, the simple past. Okay, so that is the structure that we explained before. In the affirmative, subject, verb, complement. In the negative, subject, didn't or did not, verb, and the complement, did, auxiliary, subject that is in questions, the verb base, the base form of the verb, and complement, and the WH word, the auxiliary, the subject, the base form, and the complement. So the simple structure that we have there. So in affirmative, John forgot the keys at home. Okay, John forgot the keys at home. So we have subject, verb, complement. What other example do we have? Give me one example. Yep. Marco went to the movies. Guys, it's an example in affirmative. You have to give me an example in the chat. So Marco, let's see if I can change this, went to the movies. So subject, verb, complement. Now in negative, John didn't forget the keys at home. Maria has a car. Maria has a car is in simple present, Gilbert. That's not a simple past. Remember, we're talking about simple past, not about simple present. So you can say, Maria had a car. Maria had a car. In negative, I didn't forget the homework. Very good. I didn't forget the homework. Guys, I think I explained at the beginning that when you use didn't in negative, the verb doesn't change. You are changing the verb, Priscilla and Alan. You have to say didn't go, no didn't went. Look at the example here, guys. Didn't eat, didn't eat. Look at the other example, didn't forget in present, okay, in the base form, but the verb, the auxiliary changes, not the other. Marcos, I can fix that. Didn't eat broccoli. Didn't eat broccoli. So we have Marcos, subject, didn't, the base form of the verb, and broccoli. Good. In questions, we have the same thing. A yes or no question. Did you go to class yesterday? Did you go to class yesterday? The auxiliary, you subject, go, base form, to class yesterday. You see? Did she talk to you? Did she talk to you? Did Mario go to the park? Jonathan, did Mario go to the park? Look, the verb is base form. Base form, not present, but base form. That base form is the correct way to say that. We only use the past in the affirmative. In the affirmative, guys. We only use the past form in the affirmative, okay? In questions and in negative, we use the base form. So, did she talk to you? Did she talk to you? Did Brian go to the class? Yes, but instead to the class, you say to class. To class, not to the class. And the WH word, where? Did you go? Where did you go yesterday? That's example. Where did you go yesterday? Okay. What did you do? What did you do this morning? Okay, so we have WH word, the auxiliary, the subject, the verb in the base form, no present, no base form, and the complement this morning. Did Manuel do the homework? Very good. Did Manuel do the homework? Very good. Exactly. So remember, well, let's